Just follow my exact plan to build muscle and finally see some progress. Because I want to show you that building a good physique may not be easy, but it is simple. All these influences make it seem so complex and confusing, but if you choose good exercises, which I will show you in this video, and follow 4 principles, you'll make progress. The first principle is form is always first. We always want to put form first because it is the foundation of everything else. If you have the right technique, you will stimulate and get better progress when doing exercise, and you will not injure yourself as well. And when you have the right form, you can go to principle number 2, which is training with high intensity. So when we're training, we want to break down our muscle. And when we're training hard, close to failure, we're breaking down the muscle as much as we can. But important is here to not train to absolute failure, that you cannot do another rep. Because if you do that, you will fatigue yourself so much that the future sets, the coming sets, will be trash. You'll perform half as good as you could have if you didn't train to absolute failure. And the third principle is use progressive overload. And that will ensure that you don't get stuck anywhere. You will always see progress. And the easiest way to use progressive overload or to do progressive overload is to just add weight when you hit a specific repetition goal that you have set before. And I've made a whole video about it, so you can check that out. It's the second link in the description. And the last and fourth principle is don't rush. Don't freaking rush. The fastest path in fitness is still the longest one. You cannot rush building muscle. If you rush and you really want the results, it will take longer for you. For example, if you're really rushed and you really need results, you'll get frustrated when you don't see any progress in 1 or 2 weeks, right? And you'll sit there in the gym bitter, you're gonna be pissed, you're gonna be angry, and then you're gonna quit. But if you just think, okay, I'm gonna start training now, I may see some results in 1 or 2 years, and then you go to the gym and you're happy and you're training, you are enjoying the journey, which will get you so much further than the one who really wants the results and tries to fix everything. And so don't rush, have patience, and enjoy the journey. So the first session I was doing a week is more chest focused, it's at least upper body focused. And the first exercise we'll do is incline bench press. And when doing this exercise, it's really important that you find a good rack and a good bench that fits according to your body. It's going to make the exercise so much more fun and so much easier. And here we'll do only 2 sets. The first set, we have the repetition goal 6 reps, meaning that you want to choose a weight where you believe you can do 6 reps with. When you hit those 6 reps with that weight, you add 2.5 or 5 kilograms the next session. On the second set, I usually do between 8 or 10, depending on what my goal is. Right now I'm doing 8 repetitions. About 4 months ago I did 10 repetitions, depending on what I want to focus on. The second exercise I absolutely love, and I believe it's a really good combo with the first, are weighted dips, or just dips, depending on how strong you are. And here's also important, find a stable and good place to do your freaking dips on. It's gonna just improve your fun rate a lot. And here I really take the form freaking seriously, because it's really easy to injure yourself if you don't know what you're doing. And here we also have 2 sets. In the first set, guess we'll do 6 repetitions, and in the second set 8 to 10, depending on what your goal is again. And you can also do it very simple. The first set is weighted, and then the second set is no weight, your own body weight, and you try to do as many perfect reps as possible. Then we have an optional exercise, which I have tried on and off a couple times, and that is the incline dumbbell fly. I think it's a very fun exercise, but I have not really seen more progress with having it in my program. It just takes more energy, more time, but I haven't seen any progress with it. So if you want to have it in there, you can do it. If not, then don't. The third or fourth exercise will be seated incline curls. And I absolutely love these. It's better to go too light and really focus slow and controlled on the eccentric. Really think about that mind-muscle connection and you'll see real good progress. The bench I have at about 45 degrees angle. Lean back and really feel the stretch. And then the last exercise I do on my chest day or face pulls, something for the real delt. And here we'll use rest pause training. And it's very simple that you have 4 sets in total, and you begin with a weight that you believe you can do 10 to 12 reps with. And then you do a set, but you only take 10 to 15 seconds rest between every single set. So you begin with one set, which will be a normal set. You take 15 seconds rest, do another one with a lot fewer reps, then another one, and so on. And that just, I often do these when I feel like that this muscle group needs higher volume but also hard training to really feel it. So that's what rest pause training is. And on face pulls, I think it's important that you have your thumb over the grip and you will do full range of motion and try to be controlled on the eccentric as well. Then to everyone's favorite day, the leg day. And I always begin with some sort of squat. I have done normal back squats, freaking amazing. I've done Bulgarian split squats, love them. And right now I'm trying front squats, which are a lot harder. They're very humbling if you've never done them before. So some sort of squat, and important is just take your time on the squat because it will carry all the other exercises. It will carry your whole leg progress. Squats are the most important exercise out there when training legs. Here again, I do 2 sets. The first set I do 6 repetitions and the second set 10 repetitions. And here also important, take some good rest time in between because after you've done squats, your legs are often very finished, especially when you're training close to failure, and your heart is freaking pumping. So take a good amount of rest. The second leg exercise will be leg extensions on a machine, and here I really like to go heavy and train real hard. So the first set I do about 10 repetitions on the goal, take a good amount of rest, and then do another set, also 10 repetitions. But the clue is here, after you've done that set and you've been close to 10 repetitions, I add an unofficial set with just 50% of the weight I had and just squeeze out the rest of the mayonnaise I have in my freaking legs. You don't need to do that, but I just really enjoy it. When doing the leg extension, working sets, the normal sets, it's important to have clean and good form. And I really like to slow it down on the eccentric, at least controlled. Then I always do a superset between Romanian deadlifts and calf raises, seated calf raises. First Romanian deadlift, then calf raises, Romanian deadlift, and so on. And on Romanian deadlifts, I like to do 3 sets. The first set, I do 6 repetitions. The second set, I do 8 repetitions. And on the last set, I do 12 repetitions on the goal. Here I do 3 sets because I feel like hamstrings are my weakest point, but you can adjust it if it's your strong point. On calf raises, I only do 2 sets, and here I just try to get around 12 repetitions on both sets, and really slow and controlled, especially on the eccentric. On hamstring curls, try to get good grip. It's going to make it a lot easier and better. You can also lean the dumbbell on your wrist, which you cannot do with a bar, which enhances your grip. It makes it a lot easier, more comfortable. And just go slow down and really explode up. After that, I do a couple accessories. I begin with trap raises because you want to build that nice aesthetic traps and also a little bit of neck. And that I do again, rest pause training. So I warm up, I take a weight I believe I can do 10 to 12 reps with, do that set, 15 seconds, do that set, 15 seconds, and so on, till you have done 4 sets in total. And here's just more about when you feel like it's getting too light, you're doing too many repetitions, you just add weight. So it's not as easy with rep goals. But when you feel like it's too light, just add weight. Then, the last exercise is something for the abs. I often do hanging leg raises, hanging knee leg raises, or is lying leg raises. And here I do 2 to 3 sets, all max reps, meaning that I'm basically training to failure. So 1 rep away from failure to absolute failure on every single set. And then to the back day, the last training session of the week. And here we begin not with a back exercise, but with some sort of shoulder press. Either sitting or standing. Doesn't matter. I switch out between every couple months. And here I've learned it's really freaking important to do a good shoulder warm-up before. Really rotate your shoulders, move them, do some light weight. So take your time when warming this exercise up, especially when you're doing more weight on sitting, you gotta get it up there. It can be quite a pain. And here I also do is 2 sets. First set, 2 6 repetitions. It's one of my favorite. And the second set, 2 8 or 2 10, depending on what your goal is. Then the second exercise will be weighted pull-ups or normal pull-ups. Pull-ups are probably my favorite exercise out there. And here as well, little warm-up. Here I really tip, find a good bar where you can hang off and use freaking shock. If you're not using shock when doing pull-ups, you're missing out on a lot of pull-ups. You can do like 1 to 3 more pull-ups if you have shock and really good grip on the bar. Drive your knuckles into the ceiling, so you want to have your knuckles facing up to the ceiling, not to the wall, to the ceiling. It's going to give you so much more grip and power through the forearms. Here on pull-ups there are a lot of variations. You can do weighted, fast, just above the shin. You can pull to your chest. You can go fast up, slow down, slow up, fast down. Do what you like. I just do normal weighted ones, and then I also always do a set where I try to push as high as I possibly can. And here I do also only 2 sets. You can do 3 if you like to. First set I do between 6 and 8 repetitions, and on the second set I do around 10 to 12 repetitions. You can adjust these numbers depending on how advanced you're into the pull-up game. The less pull-ups you can do, the more sets I would add, and the further away I would be from failure. If you cannot do any pull-ups at all, I really recommend getting to learn one, because they are freaking amazing. I've also made a video about that, so check out the third link in the description if you're interested. Then the second best back exercise out there, cable rows. I usually choose just a normal bar grip with the thumbs over the bar. Here I do only 2 sets again. The first set I usually do 8 repetitions, on the second set 10 repetitions. You can also use shock here or straps for enhancing grip when you feel like it's troubling you during the set, but you can also just go raw. And then I do another superset between hammer curls, cable hammer curls, and overhead tricep extension, all in a cable machine. So I do warm up, and then I do 1 set and then go straight to another. And here I do another 2 sets on both of the exercises. First set 8 repetitions, second set 12 repetitions on both of these. And I basically take no rest in between. So I'm doing 1 set of bicep curls and then 1 set of tricep, and then I take a little bit of rest. And then the last exercise will be lateral raises. You can do rest pause training if you want to, but I do a different variant. So I first do warm up, and here I really found that you want to go real slow, especially if you're having trouble feeling your delts and you feel like you're not even working them. Really focus on them and go slow down. Slow down the whole exercise, and especially on the eccentric. Control down, not just swing them. You can swing it at the end when you cannot hold it anymore. But when you can do clean reps, try to do them clean. And here I like to do 2 to 3 sets. And I always begin with a weight I can do 10 to 12 reps with. And I do that weight. And when I can't do another rep, I take a dumbbell that is about 50% of the weight I just did, and just pop as many reps as I possibly can. And then I take some rest, and then I do that again. And here I usually do max reps, so I don't care about close to failure. I just go to absolute failure as hard as I possibly can, because I feel like the lateral head of the shoulders is such a hard part. So I just go all freaking out in both of those sets. If you don't want to train it hard, pop in a third set, but if you really want to train hard, do only 2 sets. So that is everything for today. If you have any questions, please put them in this comment section, and thank you very much for watching.